Hello. Long time no YouTube video, which is basically the point of this YouTube video. I wanted to talk a bit about being creative versus being consistent. It's something that's been on my mind of late, and I also had footage that we had filmed. It was supposed to be for a film, but it really didn't pan out the way we anticipated, so I didn't want the footage to just sit there and rot. It was really good. Shout out to my DOP Viveka. She did such a good job. So I'm going to overlay said footage as I just yap in the background about this topic that's it's been bothering me a little bit. So we've all had that term that consistency beats talent, and creativity is something that's considered for the talented, quote unquote. But I was also thinking, what does it mean to create? In I feel like it's one of those things where every human being is a creator in any sort of way. So for me, when I'm thinking about what it means to create, it means these things go in stages. Everything has levels. We move from this point to the next, and when you're creating, these stages look different. They're not the same every single time. Sometimes what took you 20 minutes last time could take you 2 hours, and it's never the same. Versus being consistent, it's something that demands of you to be the same. To be consistent is for example, I had told myself this year I would do a short film every single month, but now being on the ground, I'm like, ooh, that was very that was very ambitious, girl. But you know what, we love the ambition. But you see, that consistency demands that every month I put out a film. But as somebody who's creating said films, these stages are different, and it was not possible for me to do it every single month, in the sense that I feel like there's almost a clash between being creative and being consistent. And on the topic of consistency beats talent, we've had that time and time again, and it's true that there's people who have made it big via being consistent, whether or not you consider them talented. But also talent is something that's relative, but sometimes you do see that in people with more talent and maybe are less consistent get to not have the same opportunities. But that is true that consistency beats talent, but a lot of other things would beat talent. Knowing the right people would beat talent. Having resources would beat talent. Having time would beat talent. These are also things that I think affect people's said consistency, because even being consistent requires you to have all those things. I would use me as an example. I can't call myself a student filmmaker anymore. I'm a grown-up. No. Okay. Yay. You being a young filmmaker, a new filmmaker, you find a lot of costs come in making films, because I also produce my own films, and you have to look for a cast, you have to look for a crew, and finding people who are my age, because those are the people who I tend to work with, and I really love working with people who are my age because it's fun to bounce ideas off of them. You also wouldn't expect them to work for free necessarily. And I also hate the fact that creativity has been given this notion of it's such a passion project. It's something that you do because you're passionate about it, and the starving artist, gave up homeless, but all these things also tend to be unrealistic, because let's be serious, this is my job. For me personally, and for a lot of people, this is my job. I went to university, I know about this, this is what is supposed to feed me. But then we have the same notion of an artist, he's a starving soul and has to give their everything, which is not realistic. I've always been told, use what you have, pick up your camera, shoot something, post it. There's also a certain level of quality that you'd want your name to be associated to. At least you'd like to be able to produce the best quality that you can in a said moment. And also because you also want it to be a testament to your artistry, you want it to be a testament to your skill, you want it to be a testament to your career. And for me, even I'd want it to be a testament to, dare I say, my degree. You know, like I went to school for 4 years for this, and I wouldn't want to just pick up my camera, shoot anything. I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, the lighting is off, or this is not working. Like, even the footage that you're watching above this, the reason why I didn't let it out in the first place is because the story wasn't meshing in the way that I hoped it would. So I would just stay with it because I'd be like, I don't want this to be, you know, a testament of like, oh, this is what she put out. And it also flows into my next point of, sometimes people also don't create because of the pressure. Because creativity is something that's very subjective. Somebody can look at you and be like, you're so talented. Another person would be like, oh, no. This is not great. Like, I think you should stop. Whether or not they'll actually articulate it is something else. But it's true. Like, and that pressure, and you know, you could also say that don't think about it, you know, just create for yourself, which is indeed why I think even I started being a creative from a young age, because it's something that I was passionate about. I was creating for me, I was giving it my all, I was putting in my flair. But when you in the perfect world, that is what creators would do, that is what creativity would be. You know, I just create for me and I put it out. But then you have it to another extent when it is your job. You know, now when it is your job, you need to feed yourself, so you have to think about the consideration of your audience. You have to consider your audience. It also begs the question, is art still art if nobody sees it? Some things like a film, yes, it's still a film if nobody sees it, but if nobody sees it, then like, what's the point? And when sometimes you'll think about your audience and you'll be like, maybe they won't like this, maybe they'll like it. It can keep you in your head a lot and cause you not to create. And even this like constant turnout and bringing in like AI and AI slop and all that, and how easy, I would say how much easier it is for you to just pick up a phone and like record. Consider how many like filmmakers or how many artists who've been forced into content creation. And I'm not trying to undermine content creation, it's a very valuable work and it is good work, but it's not filmmaking. But you find so many filmmakers have been forced into that because of that constant turnout. You know, you have to keep on producing because people are consuming so fast. You have to produce so fast that you don't want to get lost in all of that. But it also, I feel like it also kind of is challenging as an artist. And even as we speak about it, art is heavily reliant on your mind. That's why we have all these tropes of artists usually have like had a troubled childhood or like mental disorders or use drugs to cope. Like these things, they are maybe stereotypes, but they do come from a point of truth, because a lot of the work that artists do is very mental. To think of a story, to embody a character, to picture a shot, to think about movements, to picture the lighting, to light accurately, you know, all these things. I'm talking about it from the bias of a filmmaker, and you can, I hope you can relate in any creative field that you are in. But even like as a painter, because my brother is a painter, he's a visual artist, I can imagine the process it takes to mix this color and layer this one on top and figure out where the light is coming in, where the shadow is going. You know, all these things, they are very mental. And when you put that constant pressure on yourself, like mentally, it gets exhausting. And that's where do we get to the point where there's consistency, but you're still also being true to your art? Because I feel like you don't want to overproduce, because now there's also that thing of once you start overproducing, like you reduce in value. But then once you don't produce enough, it's like there's you know, there's this sort of like disparity between the two things, and it's really been bothering me because I've been somebody who's been told, you know, if you stay consistent, you'd have been so far, you'd have been so far. And I'm pretty sure they're very right, because I started my YouTube channel when I was like in like 2016. If I was consistent, yeah, it has been 10 years, I would have definitely been somewhere. But then the thing is also, in that said time when I should have been consistent, a lot of things were happening. Like, I joined high school, I went to high school, and my mental health went to shit, so I just didn't feel like creating. I deleted all the videos that were on my YouTube. You know, then I went to campus, started finding my ground, then was like, is this the type of... Do I sound like I'm making excuses? I do. But no, it's not excuses, but it's true. Like, as a creative...
You wanna crash out on...
As a creative, like, these things tend to happen, and as an individual, you're allowed to become and transform, and because you do that on an individual level, you can imagine how you do it on a creative level. It's deeper than that, and sometimes that you can get into this space of like nothingness, to the point where you're like, okay, this consistency, I'm pretty sure somebody out there has like understands even a bit of what I'm trying to say. Creatives are also expected to work for nothing. I feel like I've also brought this point somehow in my previous points, but they really are expected to work for nothing. Or even expected to, once you're working for something, then you're being overworked. I also would like to know, if you're a creative and you've been consistent, or you have tips on how to be consistent and how to maintain said consistency. I would love to hear it, because me, I wouldn't say I'm struggling, but I am actually. Yeah, let's just be honest. Like, I am struggling, and it's for multiple reasons. Like, right now, honestly, the thing that's making me struggle is resources. Like, send money. 07. I've been thinking about that also, but then you also don't want to create excuses at the cost of your creativity, because you can sit down and make excuses every day, but at the end of the day, if you do something, aka me making this video with my footage, not to waste it, hey, that's something, you know what, I'll take it. It's better than, like, previous me would have just left that footage sitting there for God knows how long, maybe forever, never just released it. But we're working on it, and I think it would be great to have like a community of creatives who we can help each other with consistency. I feel if you're down for that, I can create a WhatsApp channel, we can all join. You know what, actually, I want to create a WhatsApp channel, link in the description. Yeah, I would really appreciate to have some sort of discussion about this, because I believe I'm not the only one struggling with this, because we struggle with consistency in other things of our lives, like working out, etc. So I can only imagine how it is with creativity. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed these clips. It was supposed to be, actually, let me just tell you now what it was, or the original idea was supposed to be. It was supposed to be like a poem about like falling in love and, you know, all of that, you know, something cutesy. But oh, it didn't pan out the way we had hoped. We even got arrested for shooting in Uhuru Park. Oh my god. Of which, man, screw, like, one term, for real, one term. Anyway, so that didn't pan out, so we had to divert, and then I thought I would be able to rewrite a poem, but it just didn't come to me. Like, it really just didn't, like that, it just didn't. I couldn't rewrite it, and the original poem did not make sense in this context. So I got another poem. Okay, it was like a letter that I got from a boy in high school. Yeah, so if you guys are interested in me reading to you both poems, like the original one and the one that was supposed to be the replacement, it just didn't work out, man. It just didn't. I would read them for you in the next video. Just let me know. I would gladly do it. Because it's, just post on my YouTube channel. I might as well just post my shenanigans. Yeah, because best believe if she gone shenan once, they gonna shenan again. Okay. I hope you enjoyed the footage. Thank you to Vivica and Ronnie for making it possible. And now the footage is out here. I hope you can leave a comment whether it's on the footage or about what I'm talking about. And I will see you on the next one. Hopefully the next one I'm posting is a film. So help me God. Bye! I think... Actually, this microphone is not working. It's just a prop. So if you stay to the end of the video, you do know that. Yeah. Toodles!